Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and I just got my hands on the updated move tutor list for Black and White 2, so I figured I would go through all of it with all of you guys and just kind of see things that I randomly see and hope you guys get excited because this stuff is pretty cool and it's going to really change a lot of the way that the competitive scene plays because a lot of Pokemon are getting some moves that they would not have normally had without the move tutors. So I figured I'd start off with 5th gen just because that's the one I'm more interested in and because most of the move tutors are moves that were previously used for the other generations. So it's the first time that any of these Pokemon are seeing these new moves or these old moves the first time. So I'm going to start off with Victini, and from what I can tell, there really isn't anything too crazy that it gets at the moment. Signal Beam could be interesting, and Trick could be interesting, as well as Sleep Talk. I'm very excited for Sleep Talk. That is like the one thing I've wanted since the games came out. I just love that move, so that's what I was very excited about. But yeah, Trick with Victini could be really interesting because Choice Banded Victini is ridiculously powerful with V-Create, and you could be able to have the added utility of tricking stuff, which is awesome. Um, and taking a look at Superior, Superior getting Aqua Tail is actually really freaking cool because you can actually run Coil on Superior to boost its physical attack, and now Aqua Tail is there to allow you to deal with many, potential fire threats that want to come in, and Superior is really fast, so that could actually work out really well. Knockoff is cool if you want to run like a sub-seeding set because that can give you added utility, and also, Sleep Talk is cool there too. As for Embor, let me see. Embor gets Thunder Punch, that's cool, so you don't actually have to rely on Wild Charge right now. But obviously the Reckless sets with Embor would want to use Wild Charge. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. It already got Sleep Talk, I think. Endeavor, I think that might be new, but I don't really see that having a lot of potential, except maybe Endeavor with Reckless, so you could do even more damage, get a lot of recoil, and like the last thing you come in on, you can Endeavor for whatever HP you're at. That actually might be an idea. Samurott gets Superpower, which is really freaking good. So I'm excited about that. By the way, pardon the fan in the background; it's just really hot. I don't know if that's been annoying. But yeah, that's really good for Samurott, because that gives it a really, really powerful fighting type move now. And Choice Scarf Samurott has always been really good. So it can run like Superpower, Mega Horn, and Aqua Tail, and like a bunch of other stuff now. So that'll be really good. It also could potentially be a user of Sleep Talk because you could have like Scald with that. Watchog getting Seed Bomb is actually really helpful for that purpose. And wow, okay, it gets the punches. That's actually really good. Um, what else? Wow, it gets everything. So yeah, Watchog, despite it being pretty bad, is actually lucky enough to really expand its move pool with this. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. Statland gets Superpower. That's another big thing. So on sand teams, it's even more threatening. Um, what about? Oh, this is the other thing that I remember seeing as I was briefly looking at this beforehand. Liepard actually gets Dark Pulse now, which it didn't have before. It had no stab Dark type move on the special side. So this is actually really good for this Pokemon, and I'm very excited about that. So now it actually has a really good stab move, and it can run obviously a Hidden Power now, as opposed to Hidden Power Dark, which was like a thing that a lot of people used, along with Grass Knot. And I'm really excited because I love Liepard, but it hasn't really seen much use from me because it doesn't have that. Also, having Trick on it could be very dangerous, especially when it gets Prankster, which is its Dream World ability. So that could be interesting. What about these monkeys? I could actually just kind of take a big chunk at once. Okay, well they get punches. Anything really cool? No, not really. So yeah, they get the punches. I don't know if Simisage got Synthesis before, but that's actually really cool. And that could be very useful for it if it didn't have any recovery in that move before. What about Masharna? Could I potentially run an even cooler physical set for it? Alright, it gets Trick, which is pretty much expected. It already had Sleep Talk. Pain Split could be cool, but you already have Moonlight, so I don't know if that's useful. And Heal Bell on Masharna is actually really great, so that has really good potential for that as well. Unfenzant doesn't get anything. Zeb Striker getting Signal Beam, I think that's new, but I don't think it really needs it because it has Overheat and stuff like that to take on grass types. But that could be useful for obviously Dark and Psychic. So Signal Beam is new for Zeb Striker. That's great. Gigaloth also gets superpower. Everything gets superpower. I'm convinced. You're gonna see it like 5 more times on like just everything. I'm kidding. But yeah, Swoobat getting Super Fang is actually really cool. Also, Swoobat, I think, yeah, it gets Heat Wave, which is really awesome. Swoobat is very underused, but it does have that Unaware ability, which can be fantastic if you want to have it as a really good revenge killer, like with Choice Specs. And having Heat Wave on it gives it some more coverage, which is awesome. It also gets Giga Drain. That's really... Ooh, I don't think it had Roost before either. So actually, yeah, Swoobat got quite a lot of things. So that's awesome. And when that stream, or when it, what is it, stream? Simple gets released, this could make this thing even more deadly. Excadrill getting Magnet Rise, that's actually really interesting. And Stealth Rock. That could actually be really cool for it. So it wouldn't necessarily have to run a balloon anymore, because a lot of things, or a lot of times Excadrill will use that. So having Magnet Rise, even though it takes up a mood slot, could actually be interesting. Audino probably learns everything because it's a normal type. Yeah. Yeah. That list just kept going. Well, that went all the way to Z. So I don't really know. It looks pretty much like standard. So you could potentially run like physical sets on it now, I guess, because it gets the elemental punches. That could be an option. I don't know if you would ever do that though. One of the things that a lot of people have been saying is a big deal right now is that Conkeldurr gets Ice Punch and Fire Punch, meaning that it can deal with Skarmory and Gliscor now, which is a big thing. So that's actually really cool for that Pokemon. Seismitoad getting Ice Punch is awesome because physical Seismitoad is really cool. It only had, or I don't think it had Ice Punch before, so that's really great. And it also learns Stealth Rock. That's sick. Okay, I love Seismitoad enough as it is, and now it gets that. So I'm going to definitely be using that thing a lot more. Throw and Sock getting the elemental punches is really good, as well as, does Throw get Drain Punch? Did I skip over it? They both get Pain Split too, which is really weird. Okay, they don't get Drain Punch, but if Throw got Drain Punch, it would essentially just be a better Conkeldurr because it's bulkier. Um, does it not? Because that kind of sucks. Yeah, it gets Sleep Talk too. It could be interesting with the Circle Throw move. And Sock basically gets the same thing, so that's really good for Sock because now it isn't limited to 2 attacks, which was basically Close Combat and Stone Edge. Now it actually has some coverage, so that's really great. So Choice Scarf Sock will definitely become more common. Leavanny getting Iron Defense, that could be interesting. An Electro Web, that's pretty cool. But yeah, also Swadloon is one of those weird middle evolutions of like the bug types that has ridiculous defenses. So having Iron Defense on it could be really cool. Scolipede gets Superpower, which is sick. I'm really excited about that. Also, it has a lot of coverage now. It was basically like Mega Horn and Earthquake before, but now it has Aqua Tail too. So that's really cool. What about Whimsicott? You got anything interesting? I don't think so. Yeah, Sleep Talk though on Whimsicott could be annoying with Prankster. Lilligant got Heal Bell. That's pretty cool. That could be interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Basculin is already the same thing as Azumarill, because with adaptability, it's essentially doing the same power or the same amount of damage as Huge Power Aqua Jet from Azumarill, and now it gets Superpower. And Basculin is naturally faster, so Basculin is just better than Azumarill now, in my opinion. That's just something I'm gonna go by. A lot of people can probably argue, but they have the same moveset now. It doesn't have Ice Punch, but it's basically the same thing. Crocodile gets Superpower, like everything else. And Stealth Rock. Okay, that's pretty big. So that's interesting. And Aquatail. Aquatail is pretty common in a lot of things. I'm seeing that right now. Darmanitan getting Sleep Talk is interesting because if you use the Zen mode, you get like the defenses and stuff like that. So Sleep Talk, I don't know. There could be some strategy behind that. Maractus getting Drain Punch is really good. I'm not sure if it has good physical attack too, but I know it has good special attack. But that could be cool. Crustle doesn't get anything, unfortunately. Scrafty gets the punches, which is nice, and Super Fang. That's really interesting. Um, what else? And Sleep Talk with Scrafty could be dirty too, with like Moxie, and because its defenses are already ridiculous. Okay, that could be cool. Sigilyph getting Signal Beam, Dark Pulse, Heat Wave, and Trick. Well, it already had Trick, but those three special moves are really good because it has some good special attack to begin with, and it's already really fast, so that could be another option. Cofagrigus gets Pain Split now, which is ridiculous, so that Pokemon will be even more difficult to take down, as well as Sleep Talk, so it now actually has Recovery, so it's no different than any of the other Ghost types, so it's actually probably better than most now, so that's cool. Caracosta gets Superpower and Stealth Rock. That's really cool. Archeops, does it get Roost? Because that'd be awesome. It does. Okay, Archeops with Roost will be amazing, I'm sure. Because now it doesn't have to really worry about the ability as much because it can actually heal up HP. Does Garbodor get anything cool? Sleep Talk on Garbodor could actually be a pain in the butt because I think it's pretty bulky. Zoroark gets Low Kick. I think that's the first time it gets a physical fighting move. I think somebody mentioned that in one of like the forums where I found this. So that's interesting for Skarmory, or well, not Skarmory, Zoroark. It also gets Trick, which could also be very useful on it because Choice Scarf and Choice Spec sets for Zoroark can be common. Um, okay, Shinchino doesn't really get anything. That's unfortunate. Gothitelle gets Signal Beam, which is useful. Gothitelle gets Heal Bell, and it gets Sleep Talk. And Gothitelle is like the bulkiest Psychic type. So with Sleep Talk, that's going to be a pain in the butt. And with the added utility of Heal Bell, Gothitelle is probably going to be pretty awesome. Reuniclus gets the punches and Superpower, even though it doesn't matter because it's Reuniclus and it's a physical or special attacker. But Sleep Talk with Magic Guard can be very annoying. Swanna getting Tailwind is actually really good. I don't know if it had it before, but Swanna actually was like a good special attacker, and now that I can boost its speed, that could be really dangerous. Vanillux and the whole ice cream evolution doesn't get anything, unfortunately. I mean, outside of Sleep Talk. Saucebuck doesn't get anything. Emolga? Does it get Heat Wave? No, it doesn't. Okay, that kind of sucks. Escavalier doesn't get anything outside of Sleep Talk either, which sucks because a lot of people were like, oh, it should learn Drill Run, which makes perfect sense, but no, which sucks. Among Us with Sleep Talk can be really freaking annoying because that's also really bulky. But yeah, Jellicent gets Pain Split. I don't know if that'll be more useful than Recover, but it's another option. And getting Trick and Spite can also be very interesting for it. And Giga Drain, that could even be interesting too, to help it deal with Gastrodon. I gotta hurry up because I only have a few minutes left. Actually, no, I can pause the video and then continue where I left off. So I'll let you know when that happens. Alomomola gets Knockoff, which is ridiculously good because it didn't have much utility outside of Witch Passing and Scald burns and like Toxic or whatever. So getting Knockoff gives it that extra chance to like screw with stuff, which I think is really cool for Alomomola. Joltik and Galvantula getting Giga Drain is actually really good because they would normally run Energy Ball, so now it can get Recovery, and that's awesome. And Ferrothorn getting Stealth Rock allows it to run Stealth Rock with Leech Seed and Spikes, which is something that people were very excited about. So that's really good for it and putting up entry hazards. Alright, I'm going to stop it right here and then rejoin in a second, so I'll continue with this. Alright? Okay, we're back, and continuing on with Klinklang, it gets Signal Beam, which could be cool because Klinklang can actually run special moves because it does have that awesome stat boosting move. And I used to do that a lot. I used to run like Hidden Power Ground on it to deal with anything that want to trap me. The Signal Beam could be kind of cool on it. And also getting Sleep Talk is really cool for it because it's a Steel type, so it has really good defensive typing, meaning that Sleep Talk on it could make potentially, or Klinklang could potentially be like a physical wall of sorts, which could be interesting. Electros getting Super Fang is really cool because that Pokemon is kind of weird to me. Like, Electros could be really good, but its speed is kind of something that like, it's not particularly good at anything, but it has a lot of good moves and a really cool ability with its typing. So having Super Fang could be really cool for it. It gets Super Power, and the punches. It doesn't get Ice Punch, or did I skip that? Yeah, it doesn't get Ice Punch. It gets Thunder Punch and Fire Punch. Um, and it gets Drain Punch. Coil with Drain Punch on that could be really good with Electros. With like, so Coil, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch. I don't know, but that actually sounds really good to me. So I'm looking forward to that. Bahium getting Signal Beam, Dark Pulse. Does it get anything else? I don't know if it had Trick before, but getting Trick is good always. So Bahium gets some interesting moves to use now with its like a Trick Room special attacking set. I don't really know what Wonder Room is, but I keep seeing it. Um, and getting Gravity is interesting because I don't really know a lot of Pokemon that get Gravity, but it has some really cool uses if you want to run like a really low accuracy move set. And that could be really cool for Bahium, but I'm not really sure what the other moves are off the top of my head right now. But Chandelure getting Trick is really cool. I don't know if it had it before, but you know, Scarf Chandelure is very common, so having Trick to deal with any special walls that might want to deal with it is really good. Also, Sleep Talk for Chandelure could be very good too. Like you could run a Calm Minding set or something, because Chandelure has pretty good bulk as it is. So maybe you could do like a Sleep Talk, Calm Mind with like Shadow Ball or something like that, even though it's only one move, but um, it could be interesting. Haxorus gets Superpower. It had Brick Break before, so Superpower is good, even though it does have that chance to drop attack. That's two. Aqua Tail is really good for it because now it has some more coverage. The thing about Haxorus that people always complain about is that it doesn't get a fire move, and it still doesn't, even though Fire Punch exists. So sorry, Haxorus. But getting Aqua Tail could help deal with things that would normally be able, or that would allow it to be super effective against more kinds of types. But Superpower is definitely a threat to like things like Ferrothorn. And Aqua Tail actually can help out really well against Gliscor. Um, Let me see. Beartic gets. It already got Superpower. Um, I don't know. I don't think it gets anything new. Super Talk with Beartic. I don't know. Cryogonal getting Signal Beam might not seem like a big deal, but Cryogonal's special move pool is really bad. So any other special attacking moves that it can get are actually very helpful to it. So now it can run like Ice Beam with Signal Beam and like two other moves. I think it learns Flash Cannon, and I guess like a Hidden Power. So that could be an interesting special set for a Cryogonal. Also getting Knockoff could be very useful to add to its utility. Like it could be a Rapid Spin. Well, it would be like a set like Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Recover, Ice Beam, or something like that, which could actually be really good for Cryogonal. Um, Excelgor doesn't get anything. Did it get Giga Drain before? I think it did. Stunfisk got a lot of moves. I can see that. Stealth Rock for Stunfisk actually really good. Um, it already had Pain Split and Aqua Tail. Electro Web could be cool for it because it has pretty bad speed, but I don't know. Mean Shao gets. Oh my god, they totally screwed this Pokemon. It doesn't get any of the elemental punches. That's so annoying. Um, yeah, they didn't even give it. They literally did not give Manshao anything except dual chop, but that's not even anything, anyways. Um, okay, so Drudagon got a ton of moves, as you can see right here. So that'll be amazing for it because it has sheer force and it gets the elemental punches now. So that's awesome. So Drudagon's going to be doing massive damage now with all those. Um, doesn't get Ice Punch though, but Thunder Punch and Fire Punch are way. I did it learn Fire Fang and Thunder Fang. Either way, it's an. I know it's an upgrade for a fact. It also gets Superpower now, which is awesome. And it gets some special moves too. I don't know if Special Drotagon could possibly be a thing, but that's interesting. And it gets Stealth Rock. Okay. The one thing that I was really excited about though, because of Sleep Talk, was for Drotagon, because I always wanted to run like a Rocky Helmet Sleep Talk set, but it was impossible up until now. And it has really good defenses, so like doing that with like Dragon Tail and Earthquake or something like that could be a really cool combination to like just beat down physical walls by them attacking you, and then like dragon tailing stuff with entry hazards. I thought that would be a really cool idea, so I'm happy about that. But most or more often than not, you're gonna see it with like the elemental punches. Go Lurk getting them is really good because it has Iron Fist, so that's amazing for Go Lurk. That Pokemon's gonna be really hard to deal with now. And it gets Drain Punch too, and Stealth Rock. Oh my gosh, Golurk is amazing with this, with all these Move Tutor moves. Not that it wasn't before, but it has awesome typing, and now it has really good coverage. That's awesome. Um, Bisharp. Let's see. Nothing. That kind of sucks. I mean, what did it gets Magnet Rise? That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't really see Bisharp being any more useful than it already is, so it's already good as it is anyways with like Swords Dance, Sucker Punch. Buffalot getting superpower is really cool, and for my sake, Sleep Talk, because I always think of Buffalot as like a tank, so having Sleep Talk could help it live longer. Braviary gets Roost, and this is amazing because it didn't have it before because Mandibuzz was the one that got Roost, and Braviary gets bulk up, so like a Roost bulk up set with Braviary could be awesome. Also, getting Heat Wave is really cool because it does have sheer force, and it can boost its special attack with like Workup or something like that. So that actually could be a possibility with it. Maybe not the best one, but sheer force with Heat Wave on Braviary could be pretty cool. Mandibuzz gets Heat Wave, that's great. And yeah, I don't know if it had knockoff before, but block could actually be really cool for Mandibuzz because it is primarily defensive. Heatmore getting some more moves is always great. Everybody always like talks about how Heatmore sucks. Heatmore gets Giga Drain? Okay, that's really cool. Um, so yeah, that actually could be really cool for Heatmore. I didn't even. That's so weird. Durant getting superpower is ridiculous. Um, because with Hustle, and like Hone Claws, like Superpower will just cancel out Hustle's attack boost, so it's not like you're really losing anything technically. So that's actually really good for it. I don't think it had a fighting move before. Hydreigon gets Earth Power, Superpower. Dark Pulse is a tutor move now, so you don't have to rely on like the breeding. It gets Roost. That's ridiculous. It gets Heat Wave, which could be more like a better option if you want a slightly more powerful flamethrower, but not as accurate as Fire Blast. That's interesting. But yeah, Roost for Hydreigon is gonna be nasty. Volcarona. Let's see. Volcarona gets Roost too. That's really good because of its ridiculous Stealth Rock weakness. And let's see. Cobalion getting it already had close combat, doesn't need superpower. Stealth Rock on Cobalion's really good, so that's great for it. It has added utility now. Terrakion getting Stealth Rock is amazing because Terrakion, from what I've ever seen, only used like 3 moves to begin with, which was like close combat, Stone Edge, and X Scissor. So now you have a fourth move slot if you don't want to put like Rock Polish or Sword Stance on it. So that could actually be a really good option, so that you don't have to put Stealth Rocket on other Pokemon. Um, Virizion gets Synthesis. That's really cool. I don't know if it had that before. And it's already like really bulky, so that could be great for it. And you could run Synthesis on physical Virizion now because of the fact that you only got Giga Drain from the special side, so that's really cool. Thunderous and Okay, these are the weird form things. Okay, Tornadus gets superpower. Heat Wave on Tornadus could be cool. They both get superpower. Does Thunderous get Heat Wave? Because that'd be great. Um, it does not. Dark Pulse is interesting. And I don't think. Where's Oh wait, no, that doesn't. That's not next. I'm thinking Landorus is next in the list, but it's not. Let me see. Reshiram getting Tailwind could be really cool. Zekrom, what does it get? Zekrom getting Roost? That's amazing. So that's going to be a pain in the butt in Ubers now because, oh, so does Reshiram. Okay, that's really cool. There's Landorus. Landorus gets superpower now, which is really good. So it's even more threatening. And it gets Stealth Rock, which is great. So Landorus has a lot more options now. Kyurem getting, let's see. Kyurem gets Roost. That's great. Let's see. Yeah, Kyurem with Roost is actually be really great now because everybody always complains about its weakness to Stealth Rock, and now it can kind of alleviate that a little bit. Um, let's see. Keldeo, which is going to be finally released, by the way. So I don't even know what it's supposed to learn to begin with. And Meloetta, is that even released yet? I don't know, but Meloetta gets a lot of moves to work with. And with that Ancient Voice move, ooh, it gets Heal Bell too, that's cool. It can turn into a fighting type, so Drain Punch could be useful. It doesn't have Genesect on here, but I guess it's not released yet, so that's why they didn't put it on there, or the person who made this didn't figure out. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this move tutor list. So we went through pretty much everyone in 5th gen, and there's a lot of really cool ideas floating around that could be really great for a lot of these guys. So that's going to be really awesome. I'm going to go out of order because I just want to kind of look at the gens that I think would be most beneficial of these new move tutors. But overall, 5th gen is probably the one that has the most, or the move tutors had the most impact on because they haven't had them previously. But that's it for this video, everyone. So thank you for indulging me for 20 minutes or more, almost half an hour now. But yeah, I hope you guys are really excited. I'll leave a link to this document in the description so you can all check it out yourself. And I will see you next time. I think I'll do this, next one will be Gen 1, just for the heck of it. So take care, everyone, and goodbye.